Hello there, people of the internet. I'm out here with my volunteer enterprise Commander Mark III. This is just the Thompson M1A1 look-alike. I've never taken this thing out to 100 yards. I've always fired it at like 50 or so. So I'm actually going to try and make hits out on target at 100 yards. And I figured while I'm out here, I got a very interesting topic to discuss with you guys. So I zeroed this thing out for about 100 yards. Rough, you know, measuring tape estimations, but it should be zeroed out roughly for about 100 yards, and whenever I shoot at 50 it hits like a foot high. So I'm going to try at 100 and we're going to see where it hits and if I actually manage to make hits on target. But today's topic that I want to discuss with you guys, or rather the question that I want to ask you guys, what do you think would be the best platform for pistol caliber carbines? Would you rather something built off of, say, a submachine gun or a submachine gun style platform, or something that was built off of like an intermediate caliber platform? Like, for example, submachine guns don't really exist in the United States civilian population. I mean, they do, but not really. Just because of U.S. law, we're not allowed to have anything fully automatic without it being from a certain time period, and then we need tax stamps and licensing and things like that, and it's just a whole bunch of processes that you have to go through, and they're very expensive. I mean, for the most part, anything in the configuration of a submachine gun is just going to be semi-automatic, and at that point, they're basically pistol caliber carbines. Would you rather have something based off of that, which is based around having a pistol cartridge, or would you rather have something that originally had an intermediate cartridge, like say an AR platform, that has been scaled down to take like a 9mm. AR platforms chambered in 9mm or any kind of pistol caliber cartridge are very common in the United States right now, just because it's a very common platform for people to get to know. And 9mm is a very common pistol caliber cartridge, so there is no reason at all why the AR should not be chambered in that. Now, there's two different sides of this coin here. You have essentially like pistols being scaled up to try to compensate for what rifles should be, and you have rifles that are like scaled down to try and compensate for what pistols should be, and they both meet in the middle at pistol caliber carbines, but one is based off of a design that is based for pistol cartridges, and one is based off of a design for intermediate caliber cartridges. And I mean, they both get the job done, but which do you guys prefer? In my particular case, I guess it all really depends on what it is that you're wanting to do with it. Like, as a gun nut and history nut, I am far more interested in like old style submachine style firearms than I am in modern firearms of any sort. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Kevin's my peacock. I got 4 of them. Welcome to the channel if you haven't been here yet. But I would take like a 45 ACP grease gun over a 9mm AR platform any single day of the week, just because I like the grease gun better because of his historical significance. For practical purposes, I'll take the AR every single day of the week, but I'm not in a position where I have to do anything for practical purposes. But I mean, for submachine guns, there are modern configurations that would serve for practical purposes, like the UMP or the HK-MP5, or I mean, insert modern submachine gun here. There's a tremendous amount of them out there that have all of the rail system and all of the ergonomics and all the telescoping stocks and all the iron sights with the optics and all of the everything that you would ever need for any kind of... I don't like that thing. I don't like that thing at all. I'm gonna go this way. Bye guys, video's over. But there are any number of... It flew that way. I'm hoping it stays that way. There are any number of modern design submachine guns out there that are based around the pistol caliber cartridge. Or you can go with any number of, I mean, the AR and the AK platform, which are intermediate caliber, originally designed as intermediate caliber rifles. chambered in these pistol caliber cartridges. I mean, just which do you guys prefer? I think it's all a matter of preference because they both do basically the same job. But I mean, like, there's not really a good point that you could make on one platform or the other. Like I said, it all depends on what it is that you're wanting to actually use it for. And if you're familiar with the AR platform, then having an AR in 9mm as your PCC would probably be the best way to go. Or if you're familiar with, you know, a freaking submachine gun style platform, like for some reason you're familiar with the MP5, you must not be in the United States then. But if you're familiar with the MP5 and that's what you know and love, then hey, by all means, you go ahead and you use that. In my particular case, let's see, how do I normally do this? There we go. In my particular case, I have a Thompson here, and the reason why I have it is because of its historical significance. Obviously, this is not an actual Thompson. This is a Thompson look-alike made by Volunteer Enterprises so they could make a quick buck, but this very much is a pistol caliber carbine since it's a semi-automatic, based off of the Thompson submachine gun design, chambered in .45 ACP. And I got 10 rounds in this magazine, and I'm going to put some rounds downrange at 100 yards. And I want to see how close I actually got these sights and where they ended up at. Let's go ahead. I've never fired this thing at this range. I have zero idea where that went. Let's send another. Aha! I hit it! Okay, so we are still firing a little high, but instead of like a foot high, it's more like 6 inches high. Let's send another. Alright. God damn. This is amazing. Hey, this Thompson is accurate as hell. I gotta aim under the target, but man, I'm hitting it. Alright, man, this is... I never thought that I'd be able to hit targets out at this distance as freaking accurately as I can with this thing. We're at 100 yards plinking with .45 ACP, man. Okay, alright. God damn, that was amazing. Alright, I underestimated how accurate this Thompson would be. That was incredible. Let's wander down there and have a look at the target. I was aiming under the target, and just from what I can see, I think I hit mostly center mass. Let's wander down there and actually have a look before I go making assumptions, though. Okay, so here's our target. I was aiming like down underneath the target, and we seem to have hit a bunch of center mass, and then they started kind of like climbing up. Yeah, that's not bad for 100 yards with .45 ACP, and especially considering that the front sight is a nail held onto the barrel of the firearm with a hose clamp. So that's actually pretty impressive. I'm willing to bet that we had a couple of rounds kind of go in this area right here. Looks like we tore up our wood a little bit right there. So I'm willing to bet that some rounds disappeared right there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on target. So I must have missed 3, or 3 went over. I know we had some that went over and then probably went into that tree back there. But that's not bad for my homemade sight on a Thompson. That is actually pretty damn decent. Very cool. I'm very pleased with that. That was pretty awesome. That was not bad. I always like when things just kind of happen to work out like that. Since I am still hitting high with this, I would like to try shooting this thing at 200 yards and see how just on center that is. So I guess my calibration was just a little bit off because we are still shooting probably about a foot high at the 100 yards that we're currently at, but I'm gonna see if I can figure out a place to go where I could try 200. That would be really cool. At least windage is good, so I got that pretty well inaccurate. I'm probably gonna like take a nail or something and just scratch on a little line onto the barrel of this thing so I know exactly where the center of said barrel is supposed to be. I just kind of eyeballed that thing, but hell, by the looks of it, I did a pretty damn good job at that. Alright, well, let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below as to whether or not you think an intermediate rifle scaled down or submachine gun turned semi-automatic makes the best PCC, pistol caliber carbine. I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to have something to say about the subject, so you go ahead and you tell me whatever it is that you're wanting to tell me. By all means, I am all ears. That being said, hey folks, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Description down below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go ahead and go check that out. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brass casings, 5 out of 10, and the Thompson bends the rim of the projectile casings here, so I'm going to need a sizing die to use these. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I'm probably going to find something else to run down the range because I'm having a good time, actually. So I'm going to go do that. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. Damn, I'm very pleased with the accuracy of this Thompson. I was not expecting this. The reliability with these volunteer enterprises is meh, and I was just not expecting the accuracy that I got from this thing, especially with the rear sight that I have. All right, you guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.